I believe that wherever a church is, it's called to reach that community. Whether it's strategically placed geographically, or traditionally it's been there since it was planted 100 years ago, the church is called to reach the people who live and dwell around it. It doesn't do that by using megaphones and proclaiming a certain doctrine. I think it does that by living a sort of life. And at New Wine, we have these core values that are meant not only to transform us as a faith community, but also meant to reach out to the community around us. The first value is that we want to be the type of church that loves God and loves people. Loving God is about putting our relationship with God in the proper place, where we worship Him for who He is and what He's done. And loving people is about putting our relationship with human beings in its proper place, where we relate to them in the same way we want to be related to, where we love people the same way that we want to be loved. And whether it's a person that comes to our church that we can share fellowship with, and accountability and vulnerability and availability, or it's someone who doesn't come to our church and maybe doesn't even believe the way that we believe, we want to be the type of church where that person can belong before they believe. Where somebody who may not have the same worldview as us can be part of us and see what we believe lived out in real life, so that they can see that it's a real thing, that it's functional, that it is marinated in Jesus. The second value we have is that we want to be the type of church that follows Jesus. Following Jesus is about learning how to be like Him. In the first century, when Jesus lived, there were this group of teachers called rabbis, and what they did essentially was take disciples and teach them how to be like them. Jesus had a special name. They called Him Rabboni, which means great teacher. And He called 12 disciples and told them when He left this earth that I want you to go make more disciples. And so Jesus' intention for us is to learn how to be like Him. That's what the world needs. That's what this community needs, is not people who have a different religious view, not people who have some sort of doctrine that they believe in, but people who know what it means to know God, because that's what Jesus did. We want to be people who have the same relationship with God that Jesus did. We want to be people who live like Jesus. The third and most important value at New Wine is that we want to be the type of church that's promoting restoration. And what we mean by that is that we want to be the type of church that is saying that people can be restored to what God created them to be. In the New Testament, the Apostle Paul says that we are ambassadors for Christ, and that He's given us a message to give to the world, which is come back to God. We believe with all of our heart that God is in the restoration business, not in the starting over business. That God doesn't want to just destroy everything here and start over, but that God is interested in human beings being restored to what He's created them to be. That this earth is going to be restored to what it's created to be. And we believe with all of our heart that that's a message that people want to hear, that everything is broken and that God is in the business of restoring it. Hey, listen, we're going to talk more about this on Sunday night, so hope you can make it 7 o'clock. Peace.